We weren't brave enough to go up in front of people and say presentations or dance.
Yeah, and we weren't confident enough to have friends.
Exactly, to ask people if we could play with them, or to talk to them, or eat lunch with them.
Yeah, you'll just sit on your own in the corner.
A group of Albanian parents approached me and said that they were aware of a group that was working in the community with Albanian-speaking children and with parents, and they'd be interested if the group could actually approach the school and set up a group within the school, because we had a large number of Albanian children in our school.
I was very, very suspect to begin with. I've had bad experiences with parents before. But you convinced me to have a 6 weeks trial, which was so successful and so well run, I decided to go and let you continue.
We offered Shpresa 2 classrooms and the use of the hall, and obviously all the facilities within the classroom.
But what the school gets is information about inset for teachers, for example, about how to work with refugee children, about the specific needs of Albanian children. It gets volunteers, many of whom are parents, fully trained to work in the school and work alongside staff to support teachers in class. It offers training for parents in how to work, how to understand the national curriculum, the English education system, and crucially how to help their children and get involved in the life of the school.
Well, there's been a number of areas of benefits, both for the parents and the children taking part and the school. The school has benefited from the communication with the parents. We had a large number of Albanian children, and a lot of the parents, this was their first experience of English education, and working with the after-school group has managed us to induct them into the English system.
I've interviewed a substantial number of people over the last 3 years, of women in particular, and the impact for them has been pretty remarkable, as some of them have actually talked about a life-changing impact, especially for the volunteers who were trained and involved directly in schools. But all of them have commented how much it has helped them to work with their children and support their children and have the confidence to go into schools and talk to the teacher directly, approach teachers if they had any concern.
In terms of the benefits that teachers have seen from the special group, I would say that they are more aware of their Albanian children in their classes, in the school, and what issues they might have in coming to an education system that's totally unfamiliar to them.
And certainly, the enormous benefit we got at our Ofsted report on communication. We'd never got an outstanding if it wasn't for the parent groups that we have after school, and also the interest from the local authority on the way it's run.
As well as carrying out a lot of interviews and focus groups, I also looked at the data from children's achievement in school in English to see what kind of impact their learning Albanian might be having on their English and the confidence that Shpresa might be giving them. Initially I looked at the partnership between Gascoigne School and Shpresa, and I looked at all 84, the achievement of all 84 children of Albanian heritage in the school. And what was very noticeable was that on school test, the SATs at the end of year 6, but also on the school's own tests all the way through, that the Albanian children were performing at a higher level than all the other ethnic groups. And that was very interesting. Numbers are small, so I cannot say with certainty that anything is statistically significant, but it was a very interesting trend.
I think specifically in terms of policy, some of the things I've been really impressed with are the way that Shpresa has opened my eyes to the way that recognition for language and culture can be a part of strengthening families, strengthening the relationships between families and schools, and therefore basically keeping kids not only out of trouble but into thriving, into contributing, into being kind of citizens that we as Britain can be really proud of and can learn from.
Parents, they are more knowledgeable about how our education system works and about how they can support children as well, their child to achieve better. They also have more confidence in approaching teachers about their child's achievement and also about sorting any concerns that they might have to do with the child's education. So I think parents have really benefited a great deal, and it's developed a better relationship, or improved the relationship between parents and the school.
What is so good is not just, we've seen such good stuff from the children. Those presentations were fantastic. And we've seen now what the adults are doing as well. And that makes a real community supplementary school. You are to be congratulated. You are one of the very best in the whole of England. And
first of all, find out what people want. Then it's very much a matter of learning a bit about the legal requirements of organising yourself, the issues of CRB checks, the issues of insurance, the issues of child protection.
This is the model which other communities need to follow. They need to find leaders within their group that are willing to take that on, and to work tirelessly for their community. And then I think schools should be willing to accommodate them, really.
It would be for them to be very passionate about what they're doing, to develop a really good relationship with the school in terms of them being very organised and knowing what they want, and to communicate, because we actually have quite a few meetings where we actually talk about things that you would like and that we would like, and we compromise. And I think communication is the key, as well as the passion.
I know how difficult relationships can be between mainstream schools and complementary schools. I've been at the receiving end of phone calls from head teachers saying there were 2 pencils missing on Monday morning in purple class. And I think Shpresa has tackled that issue head on, really, by absolutely making sure that the children fully respect every item of property on school premises, so that schools are very happy to let them use the premises because they will not find evidence that classrooms have been used, for example.
They need to be very well organised to begin with, and they need to have these community leaders who are willing to put a lot of commitment into it and not expect the school to do everything for them. Obviously we'll do what we can, we'll spend time like we do with you, meeting and supporting them, but we can't run the thing for them. They have to have people who are willing to do that, or willing to learn to do it from other groups, willing to get themselves trained, and also a long-term commitment, not something just for a term or two. It's got to be a long-term commitment if it's going to be of benefit.